Hurricane Milton, through the eyes of my dog Stewie and mine. Stewie is a Chorky, Chihuahua and Yorkie mix. He is my daughter's dog, but he thinks he is mine. We live in Daytona Beach, Florida. As the hurricane approached Florida, it seemed everyone was getting prepared. Stewie paid close attention to us as we bought the outdoor furniture into the house and tied down any items that could be blown away and become a hazard. There was something about this storm that felt different. It was going to be bad, and Stewie seemed to sense it. As the winds and the rain picked up, Stewie would go to the door, sniff it, pace back and forth and sit in front of me and stare at me. It felt like he was trying to tell me something. He normally goes outside to do his thing on his own. While the storm was approaching, he would not go outside without being escorted by my daughter or I. Before we went to bed on the night of the hurricane, the winds were strong and the rain was falling sideways. I decided to try to get some sleep before the worst of the storm came. It was around 1:30 that morning when both Stewie and I awoke to the sound of debris hitting the roof of the house and the howling winds. Stewie seemed restless. It almost seemed as if though he was worried for his family. We have a carport, and I took him outside during the storm. We were able to safely walk out the side door next to the wall outside and under the carport, which was sheltered from the winds. Stewie started barking at the debris that was flying around. He quickly ran back to me and we hurried back into the house. The rest of the night was scary for both Stewie and I. We stayed up all night, and I would peek out the window once in a while to see how bad it was. At one point, the trellis in my front yard was blown down. Due to the high winds, I could not go outside to retrieve it. There was a power line in the street next to my front yard, and I was not only respectful of the high winds, but I was also concerned about the power lines. So many people go outside and get killed by downed power lines during and after hurricanes. Nothing material is as important as a life. I waited until daybreak, but the winds were still dangerously strong. I could see the mess of debris outside. At one point, my daughter pointed out a stain on my living room ceiling. The roof was leaking. The power had fluctuated all night, but we were lucky. Our home still had power. I took Stewie outside and he was sniffing the air. Our backyard was a mess. My fruit trees had been stripped of their fruit and most of their leaves. Our banana palms were shredded and leaning to one side. I had one papaya tree that snapped in two and the top section and fruit landed in my neighbor's yard. The other papaya trees were leaning to one side and partially uplifted from the ground. Everything was a mess, but Stewie, my daughter, and I were okay. I said a prayer for all the people that died during this hurricane and prayed for a quick recovery for all those affected by the hurricane. I hadn't had a chance to post any content for a few days and decided I could share our experience during the hurricane. The damage to my roof, trellis, and yard is nothing compared to what others have endured. I am also grateful for the well-being of my family and Stewie. We have our lives, and the damage we experienced is minimal by comparison to those that lost their homes and family members. It's now time to recover. I have lived in tropical and subtropical climates most of my life, and the last 20 years have had the worst climate disasters I have ever seen. It's time for the world to come together and make a plan to save our planet. The time for climate change denial is over. Whether you believe that the climate hazard is man-made or not, you can at least agree that we have to work on solutions to try to fix the climate. Our hearts go out to all of you. Please like and subscribe to support my channel.